All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast. This is a pop-up podcast. We just got off of an interview with Vice Mayor Todd Drosky, City of Deerfield Beach, and we were supposed to be live streaming on Facebook as well, but for some reason, it didn't go over to Facebook. But we did continue the interview over on YouTube. So if you missed it, go back to our YouTube channel. We'll take the link and we'll post it on our page, so you'll be able to see the interview in its entirety. It was a very good interview. So
and we're gonna have the vice mayor back too, because we have been on here for a while, and we're gonna have him back because we know he wasn't finished.
Yeah.
And we're going to have all the other candidates if they choose to come. We're going to have Mr. Dan Hertz. He's also a candidate for mayor. We're going to have him possibly next week, I believe.
Yeah, we are live on Facebook right now because I can see it. So come on in the room. We're live on Facebook. Eugene Austin and Sandra Cheatham. Welcome to the Adams Brothers Pop-Up Podcast. We've been, like I said, we just got off of a live interview with Vice Mayor Todd Drosky. Very good interview. Look forward to having him back and all the other candidates that's going to be running for mayor. I know Dan Hers, he's running for mayor, so I believe we have him coming up here pretty soon.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're not going to be on here that long tonight because our Miami Dolphins play at 8:15 tonight, so we're not going to be on here too much longer here tonight. And of course, you all know we had an election last week. And the Orange Man was reelected. And the Orange Man won the popular vote and the electoral vote. Electoral vote. I believe I said that right. But he won both. He won both of them. And to my understanding, there was about 23, it's possibly as much as 25% of black men voted for the Orange Man.
Well, 34 in Texas.
34%.
It's 34 in Texas, and overall, it was like 14% nationwide.
Right. So,
which is not a lot. I mean, it was pretty much about that same figure around 2020.
Yeah, well, he won
about the same.
He won the election. I can tell you that much. He won, and all of you black men out there that voted for him, I can't tell you who to vote for, but when the police violence start escalating and the police killings start, that's what you voted for. And out on my job, there are some young black men, black males in their 30s. Most of them were in their 30s. They all voted up. Most of them voted for him. I won't say all of them, but they were happy he won. They tried to pretend like they didn't vote for him, but they did. So, hey, you have a right. You have one vote. You have a right to vote for whoever you want. So they voted for the man. So now for the next 4 years, whatever happens, you have to live with it.
Well, they'll be on the clock as of January 20th or 21st. The Republicans are on the clock.
On the clock.
They will have the House, most likely the House, the Senate, and the Supreme Court. So there's no reason, if the economy crashed, I don't want to hear nothing about Biden, because they set precedent by saying Harris and Biden was in office. So if they crash the economy now, they got the House, they got the Senate. There's no one to blame. Hey, it's no excuses no more for, and I want to see this country succeed, even if it's under Donald Trump. I don't care. I just want to see people prosper. So if it's under Trump, then let it be under Trump. It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't understand what everyone, I know a lot of people was upset and it's like I've been hearing sermons all on TV being preached about people being afraid. I heard people say they've been sick because Trump won. I'm speaking to black people right now. We endured 500 years of racism in this country. We endured slavery. We endured Jim Crow. We endured redlining. We endured gentrification. We endured J. Edgar Hoover. We endured police violence. We endured Richard Nixon. We endured Ronald Reagan. We endured George Bush 1 and 2. So, look, I don't understand what people are so apprehensive about. We are a resilient people. So, you know, I don't see. I feel sorry for people that are with the Medicare, Social Security, because that's not too far for us. But people with the insulin, I feel sorry for the people that was getting the insulin for $35. We have a lot of white and black and other minorities that need that insulin, and a lot of people voted against that. I mean, they voted and said they were whatever for their religious basis. I'm not on here to question
Most people were saying they were against abortion. Okay, so you're against abortion. Okay, I'm not. I don't agree with abortion, but look, if that's what a woman wants to do, that's that. We shouldn't be making decisions for them. Let them make their own decisions, and if they go have an abortion, that's them. They have to face God for that. So leave it up to the women. I don't think we should be telling women what to do with their bodies around here. And we all know the real reason why that they want abortion banned here in the United States of America, because you all know why. Don't have to get into details. You all know why they fight so hard for that. When you see somebody fighting so hard for something like that, there's an agenda behind it. So they can say whatever the hell they want. It is what it is. And everybody that voted for him, January 20th, you are on the clock.
On the clock. That's what I keep telling you. On the clock.
I don't want to hear no excuses. We will hold you accountable on this podcast. You voted for him, hey, fine. That's your choice. That is your choice. I would never vote for him.
Same way they held the Democrats accountable for the last 4 years. No excuses. Got the House, got the Senate, got the Supreme Court.
Everything. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do right now. Unchecked. He got unchecked power right now. So, hey, it is what it is. The results are what they are. We have to live with it. The good thing is that he can only be president for 4 years, and he got to get the heck out of here. Okay. Yeah. He can never, ever run for president again. But I tell you what, you all out there watching in Facebook land and on YouTube, go get 34 felonies and see if you can apply for a government job and see if you can get a job at Walmart or with the city of Deerfield or Pompano or down at Broward County or with the state of Florida. Go try to be a law enforcement officer. With 34 felonies, see if you could ever get a good job. But you can be the president of the United States and with 34 convictions, and you can be the president, and people didn't seem to give a damn about that. They still voted for him. So, hey, you're on the clock. I hope he crashed the economy. I hope he crashed
the economy. Real resilient.
He will crash it.
We're resilient people, as I said earlier, black people. So I don't think black people have nothing to fear. And Kiki Portier, cousin Kiki Portier said, yes, I was just looking at my new health coverage for the new year, and insulin is not covered. This year it shows I was capped at the $35. It's showing a cost of $155.25 for a 30-day supply. Wow. And that is crazy.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. So those people like that with the medical issues, those were the people. When I go and vote, I just don't look at myself. I look at everyone in general, and you know, it's just a lot of people out there. Look at some of the poor people around you in your community that needs all kind of medical coverage, and that insulin at $35, that's a major. That was very affordable for a lot of people.
But $100 and almost $60, $150, $55.25 for a 30-day supply. That's crazy, man. I mean, who can? I mean, people that we're on fixed incomes right now, and I know a lot of people that retired here in the last year or so. They had to go back to work full time. They weren't even out of work for a whole year, and they had to go back and get a full-time job. You know, it's crazy. You know, this man is talking about giving the police 100% immunity. That means whatever they do as a police officer, it's gonna be no accountability. You know, Social Security is on
the clock too.
Is on the line right now.
Courtesy of Rick Scott here, that big snake that on that commercial they were talking about here in Florida. He was able to defeat Deborah Marcel. He was able to beat her, but Rick Scott is one of the biggest snakes here in Florida. He was the one that was trying to get rid of Social Security. And I saw people online saying, get rid of Social Security. I'm like, what?
Okay. What happened to all the people that paid into it for the last 30, 40 years, you know?
Like us.
Well, yeah, and then as soon as you get there, they're going to say, well, you know what? It's not there for you. It's no longer available for you. I mean, how would you feel? You know, a lot of people, it's some seniors out there that's all they live off of is Social Security. You know?
I don't think those people would think who voted for Trump. I'm talking about the black men and whatever, they got their reasons. I'm not here to debate them or whatever. They vote was their vote, but you know, I think they voted against a lot of people that was in their family that needed that health care. It's a lot of people needed that health care. And I heard people online, I saw black people online who I respected saying, well, black people should have took better care of themselves. I was like, well, I never saw nothing this. Again, want to welcome Latoya, want to welcome Dusa and Teresa Miller, Ms. Wilson. Ms. Wilson said people will fight harder for a dog and then call the police on a homeless person asking for food. That is correct. That is very correct. You know, we living in some, I don't know, man. We living in a time, and I want to say 45% of Latinos voted for Trump. I don't know if that's a good thing for a lot of them. I would tend to say those 45% that voted for him probably just became American citizens, and now they got here, and now they probably want to just pull the ladder out from under the rest of them. I have no problem with Trump.
Send them all back. They voted for him and he sent them back.
I don't. I mean, if you're here illegally, then you know. I saw one of his new ICE director and the reporter asked him. She asked him, "Is there a way to keep from separating families from being deported?" He paused for a moment with a straight face. He said, "Yeah,
deport the whole family.
Deport the whole family." I was like, "Oh wow." Hey, Timothy Lewis, what's going on, my brother? Just checking in on you. We thank you for joining us, Timothy Lewis. I haven't saw you in a good long time. I remember, I believe you used to be with my brother Jerry, or your brother Glenn used to be with my brother Jerry back in the days.
Big Bird, brother.
Yes. Willie.
What's up, Tim?
Yeah.
Been a long time, man. So,
yes, Miss Wilson, we are living in Revelations. So. Yeah. But just the immigration part, I know we're changing here in Florida, and I tell you what perplexed me more here in Florida, where we saw a big immigration influx of Cuban immigrants during the 1970s, the 80s, the 90s, and they say they was running from Castro, they was running from oppression, but they came here mostly under the Democrats that let them in, and they came here and they flipped their vote and started voting for Republicans. But it's wild when you look at their comments online, And they always say, oh, you see some of the most racist comments coming from some of the Cubans that have came over here in Florida. They are here in Florida. And like I say, they say they were running from oppression from Castro, but they seem to come over here and they're perfectly fine with Trump's BS. I can tell you that much. They're perfectly fine with Trump policies and everyone else policies. So it's a little hypocrisy there on their fact. But I mean, we saw a lot of people, especially on the Democratic side, man, and they call it crashing out, man. They were coming on there making videos. I seen some of the videos. Man, it was this lady came on there. She said the black men, when the one voted for Trump, when the police shoot them, don't hold no GoFundMe, don't ask for no.
Yeah, that's true.
She went all the way in. I mean,
not marching, we're not protesting, we're not doing none of that stuff. All of you all that voted for him, go out there and march and protest for yourself. Okay.
I think I can play that if you want. Play it.
Yeah, so the Democrats, and maybe this will be a wake-up call for the Democratic Party, you know. Instead of people, these young black men that voted for Trump, instead of you trying to help fix it, they pretty much said, well, we can't beat them, we'll go and join them. So they went over there and they voted for the orange man. And I make it known, I don't like him, and I would never ever vote for him. Okay. I don't like him. Never will vote for him. And then you have some people that went to the poll and I know a lot of people that didn't even vote at all for the president. They don't believe in the president and this and that. They just say, oh, I wouldn't, and I left it blank. Well, you have a right not to vote for the president, but you also have a right not to complain. So if you went there, if you one of the ones out there that's watching right now and you say, oh, I didn't vote for the president, I left it blank, then that's on you. Please don't ever stop me out in public and come and start talking about the president. Trump did this and Trump did that. I'm going to walk away and leave you standing there. I promise you. And I know everybody that said that to me, that they didn't vote for the president. And that's fine. You say you didn't vote for him, that's fine. But don't complain. Don't come to me complaining. Don't ask to come on this podcast when the police shootings and the police violence goes up, you know, and they start killing unarmed black men around the country again and shooting a man for eating ice cream in his own apartment. And, oh, I went to the wrong apartment and whatever, man. You know,
I want to play something here right now.
Yeah, we could play.
I want to play Trump's new ICE director. I want to turn that up.
This one here?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to play that right now. You're listening. This is fair use for Facebook, YouTube, fair use under the Fair Use Act of 1976. We are using this video for journalistic commentary. Turn it up.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Watch this.
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Put onions on your feet.
Oh.
You see that? They can be deported together. Hey, but man, maybe that's what some of them need to see.
And I got another video I want to play.
Yeah, go ahead and cue it up. But some of that maybe that's what needs to happen. You know, maybe they start coming in and say, all right, all y'all boys, come on, let's go. Y'all hop on the boat. It's time for you all to go back too. Maybe that'll wake them up.
Okay, this is a video here where this Latino woman, she was just coming on here talking about where her brother was actually deported, and his kids, after he was deported, his kids were so upset, but they went and they voted for Trump. I want to play this.
Go ahead. It's ready.
Hey, my family's probably going to get mad at me for sharing this, but I truly don't care at this point. So in 2017, 2018, I can't remember exactly the year.
Fair use.
My brother was deported. He was an illegal immigrant for many, many years, but he was deported. On the day that he was taken by ICE, he was going to work with my brother. They worked together, I think. I can't remember exactly, but they were going to work together, and he has had his kids in his car. So my nieces and nephews watched their dad get arrested and taken away by ICE. I'm not going to say that my brother was perfect, because he wasn't. Like, none of us are. But he's not a bad person. So back to him getting deported. So this was, I can't remember if it was 2017 or 2018, but Trump was in office, right? So he gets deported. Some of my nieces and nephews have not seen their dad since he got deported. 2 of them are now able to vote. The 2 that voted literally voted for Trump. They voted for Trump. And I'm like so mind blown that that even happened, because they saw their dad get deported. They were traumatized from it. And for some reason, they find it okay for other people to go through that. I just don't get it.
And that's what probably needs to happen. They need to start seeing it to believe it. You know, they come over here to this country, and they just, whatever their relatives tell them, just vote Republican, this and that, and they're not for the Democrats or socialists and this and that, and then they really don't know anything about America, the American government and politics, and how low down and dirty politics is in this country. And then some of them will have to see. They'll have to see learn things the hard way.
And I got one last video. This one here is this lady. She went all in. I mean, she really, I think, crashed out after the election. I want everyone to listen.
I may offend some people with what I'm going to say, and I don't give a fuck. To all you Latinos that voted for Trump, I hope he mass deports you and your entire family, whether you were here legally or not. You gotta go. I hope he does that. To you Black men who your fragile ego couldn't take a Black woman in office, so you either voted for Trump or you didn't vote at all, the police will now have carte blanche to murder you right where the fuck you stand. And when they do that, there's not gonna be no GoFundMes. Don't ask your family to ask us for shit. Just die. They can't afford to bury you. Dig a hole in their backyard. It is what the fuck it is. But don't expect sympathy. Don't expect protest in the streets. We're not doing that. Black women, we're done. We're done. We did our due diligence for this century and the next. We've done enough. We're not doing anymore. To you white women that once again voted against your fucking interests, when your husbands start knocking you into the middle of fucking next week and you can't do anything about it because no fault divorce is in play, I want you to take those black eyes and those busted lips as a personal thank you from Donald J. Trump each and every time you get fucking hit. Take it. Don't look for nobody else. Don't ask for fucking help. Take your beatings. For all of y'all that voted for Trump, I hope you get exactly what you voted for. Because the only thing he did was to make America great for the people that it was great for from the fucking beginning, white men. That's what he did. He couldn't run the risk of whiteness no longer being the default, not being allowed to fail up. So when you're bleeding out somewhere and there's a medical emergency and you can't get no fucking help, women who voted for him, don't take it. You just gotta die. If you got kids, they're just gonna be motherless. It is what the fuck it is. You didn't give a fuck, so we don't give a fuck. That's how it is. This isn't America anymore. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's not gonna be America. And if you think that Trump is gonna be in that office for 4 years, you're fucking insane. Because we're about to be in a real live action episode of fucking Scandal. Because your next president is not Donald Trump, it's JD Vance. Because trust and believe, within a year, you're not going to see Trump anymore. He's either going to be, and they're going to say it's illness or he died in his sleep, it's natural causes because he's fucking old enough, or they just going to let him spaz out and do the 25th. And that's when we're really going to be in the Handmaid's Tale. So I really hope all of you who voted for him, you get exactly what the fuck you deserve.
And there's a lot of expletives on there.
Yeah, excuse the language.
We couldn't bleep it out. We don't have that drop button here, but it was a lot of F-bombs in there, so we apologize. But that's how people feel.
And also, Miss Sharon Kitt made a perfect point, which I've been telling all of the people who voted for Trump. In Trump's last administration, Trump had one black person in his administration after all those people were out there cheering for him in 2016. He had Ben Carson, and he was what, health secretary or health and human secretary or whatever Carson was. Trump had all these supporters out here, and he had a lot of black people, a lot of black empowerment people on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. But the thing is, I want to see some black people in Trump administration that look like us. Now, they were out there doing all that, cheering for Trump. Let's see if he, and I've been saying this, and they know who they are. I've been saying, let's see if Trump put some of those same black people in his administration. I doubt if he will do that. I doubt, because it's almost like he want to put us in little minuscule jobs. Look at Biden. You can say what you want to say about Biden. Biden put blacks in high positions. Look what he did with Lloyd Austin, who was the defense secretary, the first black defense secretary ever. I guarantee you, Donald Trump will never put a black person in a position of power where national security is, because I really don't think, and this is just my opinion, I really don't think that he trusts us in those positions. So all those people who are out there cheering for Trump, let's see if he put any black people in those positions, in top appointment positions. I don't think it will happen.
I don't think it'll happen either.
So, it's easy to root for Trump and say, well, Trump this and Trump that. Well, let's see if Trump put people in there that look like me or you. I just don't see it's going to happen. If Trump can turn the economy around, fine. If he can get it, I want to see this country win. And if he can do it, then fine. I'll be the first one to come on here and say that he got this country going in the right direction. And I don't think we're not going to be like how they did President Obama and President Biden, where they said they wanted them to fail. You want your country to fail? Really? I mean, I could never come on here and say I want my country to fail, but I saw the Republicans do that. They came in when Obama won, and they had a little meeting. It's documented. They had a meeting, and they said they were going to do everything in their power to impede everything that President Obama did. So, you're worrying about Michael Strahan not holding his hand over his heart yesterday on Fox on the aircraft carrier. But these are some of the same people who say that they want to see the president of the United States fail. It's so much hypocrisy in our system. And I think we need a total overhaul. I think some of those people that been in government so long, I think they need to go. That's why I believe in term limits for all branches of government, all levels. I believe we need term limits to clean these folks out of there, to get them up out of there, to get their ways and some of their thought processes out of there. This is why I will always be in favor of term limits. You have something you wanna do, Daryl?
No, I was just queuing up.
It's like I say again, I didn't think nothing else about the election when the election last Tuesday. I watched it around 12:40. I went to bed. I kind of knew Kamala was gonna lose. So
it didn't look good when I started seeing the votes come in, and I saw he had like 100 and something votes, and she didn't even she wasn't even nowhere near him. So I was like, this is not looking good. I just turned the TV off.
And a lot of finger pointing. You see a lot of finger pointing going on. A lot of people talking about the Democrats, but to just remember 4 years ago, the Republicans was right in this same position, and they lost, and they couldn't even admit that they lost. They were like coming up with and they had black people coming up with the same excuse too, that I respect, talking about that they stole the election. Wasn't no election stole, just like Trump beat the brakes off of Kamala.
Yeah,
and she put on an honorable campaign, but it just wasn't her. I just don't think
campaign.
Yes, I just don't think America is ready for a woman president. I just don't think that I just
Miss
think,
Wilson said
just
it's
don't think
always
they're
the
ready.
ones with 2 teeth and no job or deadbeat dads quitting good jobs to avoid child support that scream Trump the loudest. Too stupid to realize they're not the ones he's interested in helping. The bad thing about them getting what they deserve is that we are stuck in the past as well. Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are. That's why I say I believe in term limits. I believe in true term limits for our politicians to get them out of there.
Especially
Give them
those
about 12
senators.
years. You got people, and I mean, we got a lot of people in our community, like Auntie Maxine, who's always been a fighter. But Auntie Maxine in California has been in that. She's like 80 something.
Maxine Waters, yeah.
And she's been in that position for.
But again,
she did good though.
Yeah.
But she's been in there way too long. She should be ready to hand that baton off to someone else and give them an opportunity there. You had people like even the late John Lewis. He had been there. Elijah Cummings. A lot of people been in those positions for the guy from South Carolina, Clyburn. All those people been in them, and they need to be getting ready to hand the baton off to someone.
Moving out of the way. And this is a should be a wake-up call for the Democratic Party. You know, you all need to get it together, you know. And then you see people, heard a lot of black men say, well, what plan, you know, what the Democrats gonna do have, you know, what tangibles we're gonna get from the Democrats. Well, how is it fair for you to ask the Democrats for tangibles when you won't ask the Republicans for any?
Yeah, the Republicans not going to give.
So you can hold the Democrats accountable, but you won't hold the Republicans accountable.
And I believe in tangibles. I believe in all of that, reparations and all. But I just don't see the Republicans giving it. I just don't.
Never get it.
I mean, if you voted to punish the Democratic Party and Kamala for whatever reason, job well done.
They're gonna get with you. You just wait. This man is volatile. He's just ready to just do whatever, man. This guy, you know, Trump says what's on his mind. That's why I like Trump. You know, I'm rocking with Trump and all of this and then. Okay, well, you all rock with Trump again on the 20th of January. You Republicans are on the clock. All you guys out there, the black males and black women that voted for him, you are on the clock.
And the Latinos.
So don't go on social media on there saying,
everybody on the clock, hey, January 20th.
We need to get together. We need to stick together. The police, we need to set up a protest. And then, no, you go out there and protest yourself. Don't call me because I will not be out there protesting for nothing.
I heard a good sermon in church yesterday at 4:00. Miss Kit, my church member, Miss Kit was there, where the pastor from Miami Gardens, he preached about that. He preached about black people not fearing and black people are resilient people. Hey, he said, you know, lean not on your own understanding. You know, that's what people have to do. Like I say, we're gonna get past Trump. I'm not worried. I just feel sorry for the elderly people and the people, the disabled people, and a lot of the other people I feel sorry for. I'm just telling you, a lot of people that thought they was going to get a $1,400 check again, another check. Trump coming after those people that's on those government assistance programs. Those the programs Trump coming after. If you go those, and a lot of people on those housing vouchers. Yeah, he's coming after those programs. Those the programs Trump coming after because you know he wants to give his billionaire and millionaire friends tax cuts. So that might not mean anything to most people, but just watch. And that's why I say the people that didn't vote, watch the programs Trump go after. Yeah, you know, he's going to go after those programs because he got to pay for everything you heard him screaming in the last 4 years. Those the things, and you know, that he has to pay for. And I'm an optimistic black man. I believe we're going to be okay as a people, but some of the programs he's gonna cut.
The ones that get off of the boat and they hand them a free housing voucher and food stamps, the ones that went out there and voted for them. Let's see where you'll be living here in a year or so. See if you'll still be in that government home, that housing. You still be on that government housing program, or you still getting those food stamps. So There's some lessons that's going to be learned
Oh,
from
a
this
lot.
elections.
A lot. It was a lot.
This election.
It was a
And
lot
don't
of
forget
lessons.
about the 80-hour work week. Going anything after 40 hours right now is overtime. How about this fool talking about moving it up to 80?
Yeah, the retirement age. He's talking
You
about
know,
moving up.
No, the 80 hours of work hours.
No, but he's also
kick
talking
in.
about, remember, they're
And no
talking about
overtime.
the retirement age, moving that up. How about that to the people that been working all their lives, been working 40 years or 30 years? He's talking about moving that.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things that I heard people say, and I agree, a lot in the Project 2025 work being implemented since 1968, but it's a lot of things in there that wasn't, that, like I say, that Trump is going to go after. No one's trying to scare black people, because I hear that all the time about just trying to scare black people. No, that's reality.
And I
But,
tell you what,
that's reality for us.
well,
The police, the police had qualified immunity from what I think I was reading. Police had qualified immunity since for the longest now, but
you want to give them 100%.
Trump want
immunity
to
now.
give them 100% immunity on, like I say, until someone in your family is beaten or killed. Then I think it comes full circle then. But I just hope people knew
Nothing
what they
against
were
the cops.
doing.
We're for law enforcement. I
Yeah.
said, my son is a police officer, but you can't go out there and just shoot somebody down and say, hey, well, Trump gave me a 100% immunity. I can't be held liable for shooting this man down and this woman down. That's not right. So
Yeah.
But hey, again, you voted for him. You are on the clock as of January 20th. Okay.
Yeah.
We will be holding you all accountable. And all
I am. I'm gonna be, every time I see Trump doing, and his antics, we already know.
Yeah.
Every day you come home from work, look for some antics of him throwing paper towels or something. We already know that type of foolishness coming. And a lot of people said they voted for it was a very legitimate causes to where people voted. A lot of people said the inflation, the economy, those were legitimate, but you got global inflation, so a lot of the stuff they were saying that I want to see how Trump tackles this. He was talking all on there about this was high and that was high.
25% tariff.
We're going to see now, like I say, January 20th or January 21st, Republican Party and all the people who voted for Trump, y'all on the clock.
The only thing I can say is if you just retired, you better get ready to go back to work. Okay, because you're not going to be able to make it. 80 hours, you got to work 80 hours before you can get any overtime, and 80 hours and no overtime.
And we're not brainwashed. We're two black men not brainwashed, as I hear them say sometimes.
We old heads.
I believe in the reparations movement, but I also believe that I also am smart enough to know that you need 217 or 218 votes to get anything passed in the House. And so right now, the reparations that we were talking about, that the Republicans were saying they were listening to in Trump's platinum plan, let's see if we can get those reparations passed, because no excuse now. They got the House, they got the Senate, they got the Supreme Court. Let's see if we can get those passed. Let's see what the Republican Party that you put your faith in last Tuesday, let's see what they're going to do.
Nothing.
That's all I have to say.
All right, that's it. This is a pop-up podcast. We're getting ready to hop up off of here and put this equipment back in the boxes, and the Miami Dolphins come on tonight at 8:15, so we're not going to be on here all night. Thank you all for rocking with us on the Adams Brothers podcast like you always do. We'll be talking about the election again next week. We have Dan Hurst. Dan Hurst coming up. He's a candidate for mayor. He's coming up next week on the 18th, I believe. Next Monday.
And we also have the State of the City, where the mayor gives a address. That is next Wednesday at the Tigner Center.
Right.
Tickets, I believe, are $75. I know that's pricey, but it's by I believe the Kiwanis Club is doing it. But the State of the City is very nice. I would employ anyone that can afford the $75 or whatever the price is on our Adams Brothers page. Go to State of the City. You see all kind of dignitaries there. You see a lot of people there. You get a chance to talk to a lot of politicians there, and you hear the mayor's plan for the city.
Yeah.
So
if you can attend
next Wednesday of next week.
If you can attend, put on something nice. Don't come out there looking all shabby, because it's a real nice event.
Yes, it is.
Put on some nice clothes, dress to impress.
They have food,
nice food, and good food and everything. So,
I went last year, and it was at JM, and it was very nice last year.
Make it last year. I had sciatica real bad. I couldn't even walk last year this time. So thank God.
We have
come a long way
coming up too. Did they ever schedule? I don't want to call their names.
No,
right now,
I don't want to butcher it right now. But we got some more people coming up. Dan Hurst on Monday.
He's a candidate running for mayor. Dan Hurst is a activist, District 1 activist, and he's always in the mix. He's running. It's probably, right now, as of right now, we know it's two candidates, and that's current Vice Mayor Todd Drosky, and that's Dan Hurst.
So we're going to be setting up a candidate for him here in the future. We're going to have all the candidates there. You can ask them questions in the future. So stay tuned to the hottest podcast around here. Thank you all for rocking with us here on our podcast. We're getting ready to hop up off of here, get some dinner, and watch the Miami Dolphins beat up on the Rams tonight. So go Miami Dolphins. Thank you all for watching.
Good night, cuz.
Have a wonderful evening.
Good night, everyone that was in the chat.
Cousin Kiki and cousin
Kenny Copeland,
Miss
Sharon
Wilson.
Kidd, Miss Wilson. Go up and down.
Thank you all for rocking with us, man. Let's see here. We're gonna call out some names right quick before we get off of here. Timothy Lewis, Miss Wilson, Doe Sutton, Kiki Portier. Who else?
Sure, it was more online. There was some more online.
Thank you all for rocking with us on our podcast, man. Good night. We love you. And ain't nothing you can do about it. Good night, everybody.